What if I told you buying a luxury car after the warranty expires could actually save you thousands of dollars? Sounds impossible, right? Most people picture German sedans draining wallets with endless repair bills. But the truth is, a handful of luxury cars actually thrive when they're a few years old. Some even get better with age. And the number one car on this list isn't just reliable, it's more dependable than the economy cars everyone swears by. Let's uncover the hidden gems that prove luxury doesn't have to mean fragile. The Lexus GS 350 Farad Sport is proof that luxury can age like fine wine. Under the hood sits a naturally aspirated 3.5-liter V6, an engine so well built it feels like it's training for a marathon. Smooth, steady, and never out of breath. Pair it with Lexus's buttery 8-speed automatic, and you've got a car that still feels fresh after hundreds of thousands of miles. Here's where it gets interesting. Instead of the creaks, rattles, and sagging interiors most luxury sedans suffer from, the GS matures gracefully. The leather softens, the suspension settles into a perfect sweet spot, and the cabin feels more solid as the years go by. The F-Sport trim isn't just a badge either. Lexus tuned the suspension and brakes with real performance intent, something usually reserved for BMW or Audi, but without their reliability nightmares. Even better, the GS holds its value because informed buyers know it's one of the rare luxury sedans that outlasts mainstream economy cars. A well-kept GS 350 5 or 6 years old can easily run another decade without the usual luxury headaches. But if Lexus represents safe, steady reliability, Mercedes-Benz had to fight for redemption, and the story of the S550 proves it. Mercedes-Benz once had a serious reputation problem. In the early 2010s, the brand was hammered with complaints about failing electronics, fragile air suspensions, and repair bills so outrageous they rivaled mortgage payments. Owners were fed up. The brand that once symbolized bulletproof engineering had turned into a reliability gamble. Then came the W2 122 seconds class, and it felt like an apology letter written in steel and leather. The twin-turbo V8 wasn't just about power, it was re-engineered for durability. Even the air suspension, usually a death sentence on older luxury sedans, was rebuilt so robustly that high-mileage examples still glide like new. Here's the part most buyers overlook. You don't need to be locked into dealer service. Independent Mercedes specialists can maintain an S550 for a fraction of the cost with parts widely available. That means genuine flagship luxury massaging seats, whisper quiet cabins, old school build quality without the horror stories. If Lexus is the marathon runner, the W2 122 seconds class is the redemption arc. Proof that German luxury can be reliable again. But while Mercedes fought back from failure, Acura quietly built a car that most people still underestimate. The Acura TLX doesn't wear a flashy badge, but it's the kind of post-warranty luxury car smart buyers love. While BMW and Audi were loading their cars with fragile electronics that break faster than a teenager's smartphone, Acura stuck to Honda's greatest strength: engines that just keep going. The 3.5-liter V6 the TLX is exactly the kind of motor mechanics enjoy working on simple, durable, and capable of racking up miles without drama. Paired with either a 6-speed or 9-speed automatic, it delivers smooth performance without the looming fear of transmission failure. The kicker? Depreciation crushes the TLX in its first few years, which is bad for first owners, but fantastic for second ones. You can grab a fully loaded TLX with tech and luxury features for the price of a new Corolla. And because it shares parts with mainstream Hondas, maintenance stays cheap. Even insurance companies reward TLX owners low repair costs, and strong safety ratings mean favorable premiums. The TLX might not scream prestige, but that's the beauty of it. It's the luxury sleeper that rewards smart buyers who look past badges. But if Acura quietly over-delivered, Genesis openly declared war on the Germans. The Genesis G80 is the sedan that rattled Munich and Stuttgart. While BMW and Mercedes were charging $70,000 for cars that needed $6,000 repairs every other year, Genesis rolled out a luxury machine that offered the same comfort without the drama. At its heart is a 3.8-liter V6 that feels absurdly overbuilt, like it was designed to run forever. It's not flashy, not turbocharged, just engineered to shrug off mileage. Even the details that usually spell doom for luxury sedans were reimagined here. The paint process uses multiple protective layers, so 5 winters later, it still looks showroom fresh. The suspension, built for redundancy and durability, so you get comfort without the repair bills. Here's the magic. The G80 asks almost nothing of you. Basic maintenance, oil changes, fluid swaps, no $900 spark plugs, no $1,200 brake services, just drive. And thanks to depreciation, you can buy a car loaded with Bentley-grade interior materials and Lexus-level reliability for the price of a mid-range Camry. Genesis built the G80 to scare the Germans, and in many ways, it worked. But while Genesis was rewriting the luxury playbook, Volvo was busy proving that simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. Volvo doesn't chase trends, it builds cars for the long haul. The S60 sedan and its V60 wagon sibling are quiet overachievers in the luxury world. Where German brands stuffed their cars with tech that aged like milk, Volvo went timeless. The 2.0-liter Drive-E engines don't sound exotic, but they were tested in Arctic conditions, where most cars would quit. The result? Powertrains that cruise past 200,000 miles with little more than routine maintenance. Inside, Volvo didn't cut corners. The interiors use soft-touch plastics, durable leathers, and controls that feel like they belong in an aircraft cockpit. Even a decade later, the cabins feel premium. Depreciation hammers these cars in the first 5 years, but then the curve flattens, meaning you can snag a $45,000 Scandinavian luxury car for less than the price of a Corolla. Add in stellar safety ratings and affordable insurance, and you've got a package that makes you wonder why anyone still chases BMW badges. Speaking of BMW, let's talk about a model that nearly destroyed the brand's reputation before bouncing back to become a legend. The BMW 550i has one of the most dramatic comeback stories in modern luxury. Early versions of the N63 twin-turbo V8 were disasters, oil leaks, overheating, and constant breakdowns. Owners were furious. But BMW eventually fixed the problems in later production years, quietly creating something rare, a high-performance luxury sedan that doesn't self-destruct. The twin-turbo V8 delivers near M5 levels of acceleration, but paired with the rock-solid ZF 8-speed, it can pile on serious mileage. Even better, you don't need to rely on dealerships. Independent BMW specialists can handle everything these cars need, cutting costs dramatically. That means you get flagship performance, brutal acceleration, and luxury comfort without living at the service center. The 550i is proof that sometimes a brand actually learns from its mistakes. But while BMW fought its demons, Lincoln quietly built one of the smartest hidden gems on the market. The Lincoln MKZ is often ignored, which is exactly why it's such a bargain. While buyers flocked to German sedans that came with 4-figure repair bills, Lincoln built a mid-size luxury sedan on a proven Ford platform. That means engines like the 3.7-liter V6 or 2.0-liter EcoBoost, hardly exotic, but reliable and cheap to repair. Independent shops can fix them with no special dealer-only tools. And because parts are shared with mainstream Fords, maintenance is dirt cheap compared to BMW or Audi. Depreciation is where the MKZ really shines. A $45,000 sedan often drops to half its value in just a few years, then levels off. That means you can get leather seats, tech features, and a quiet, comfortable cabin for the price of a new Accord. Inside, Lincoln leaned into comfort. Wide, supportive seats. Whisper quiet rides. Interiors that don't fall apart after a decade. Insurance companies even reward MKZ owners with low premiums, thanks to strong safety ratings. The MKZ isn't flashy, but it's a smart luxury play. And if you need more space for the family, Acura has you covered. For anyone who wants a luxury SUV without the drama, the Acura MDX is the gold standard. While German rivals crammed in fragile electronics and air suspensions that aged like spoiled milk, Acura kept things simple. The 3.5-liter V6 inches, the MDX, is nearly indestructible. It's the same kind of engine Honda has used in minivans and sedans for decades, often lasting 250,000 miles with just oil changes and timing belts. Pair it with Acura's all-wheel drive, and you get year-round usability without the luxury tax repair bills. Inside, Acura went with the built-to-last philosophy. Leather that ages gracefully, electronics that don't glitch out, seats that stay supportive after years of road trips. And depreciation once again works in your favor. A $55,000 MDX often drops below $25,000 in just a few years. With maintenance costs closer to a Honda Pilot than a BMW X5, it's one of the smartest post-warranty SUVs you can buy. But if you want passion and practicality in the same package, Porsche built something truly unique. The Porsche Panamera S is what happens when a sports car brand decides to build a sedan and refuses to compromise. Porsche took 911 DNA, stretched it into 4 doors, and created one of the most dependable luxury sedans of the last decade. The naturally aspirated and supercharged V6 and V8 engines are beasts, tested to extremes. Add in the PDK dual-clutch transmission, one of the most durable gearboxes on the market, and you've got sports car excitement with sedan practicality. Here's the crazy part. Depreciation hits these cars like a hammer. A Panamera S that once cost $140,000 now sells for around $50,000. That's supercar engineering at mid-size SUV prices. And thanks to independent Porsche specialists, ownership doesn't have to mean dealership ransom fees. If you've ever wanted a car that can haul groceries on Monday and embarrass sports cars on Saturday, the Panamera S delivers. At the end of the day, owning a luxury car after warranty is about more than just repairs. It's about knowing which cars actually thrive with age and which ones quietly bankrupt their owners. Lexus, Acura, Genesis, Volvo, Lincoln, and yes, even Porsche have all proven that luxury can last without draining your retirement savings. The smartest move isn't signing for the latest model with a shiny warranty. It's finding the legends hiding in plain sight, the cars that keep running long after their depreciation curve has flattened. So before you sign that loan or extended warranty contract, take a serious look at these 9 post-warranty luxury cars. They're the safest bets for dependable, affordable, and enjoyable luxury ownership in 2025 and beyond. And if you found this list helpful, don't miss my last video on the worst cars in 2025 that will bankrupt you. Trust me, you'll want to know which models to avoid before stepping foot on a dealer lot.